uniting communities throughout the six. This is Urban Definition with your hosts Sassan, Kareem, and Zayn on CHHA 1610.
Hello, welcome. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Urban Definition. I'm Zayn, joined with Sassan and Kareem.
Hey,
What's up, guys?
What up?
How's it going?
Good. How's your week been, guys?
It's been pretty slow.
It's been a chaotic week for me.
What happened to you?
Like, an hour before today's show, I literally had to, Zoom here. I'm so glad I did not get pulled over by the cops today. I was legit speeding.
What were you doing?
Honestly, I was just in, at the tip of, the city. So I was Mississauga, I guess? Or Sasson, GTA is your area.
What? I thought you were in Etobicoke.
Is that what it is?
Islington?
Okay, yeah, so that's
Yeah,
Etobicoke, yeah. So I was in Etobicoke, taking care of business. I recently joined this site called Rent a Friend.
Yeah.
And I got rented by a friend. It was fantastic.
What did you have to do?
Just stuff. Play catch and kick soccer balls and...
An hour before the show?
Listen, all right? Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
You had to do that an hour before the show.
Listen, all right? Let's not judge.
I'm not judging. I'm just questioning.
All right. That's if you were to question my life, we would be in a very awkward predicament. But what's going on in the news, guys?
Actually, first thing I want to say is an apology for last week. We talked about the Panama Papers, and I said that the leader of Iceland was the president. That's not true. He's the prime minister, and I'm a little bit embarrassed about that. So sorry to everyone who believed me that I said the president of Iceland resigned. It was actually the prime minister of Iceland who resigned.
Oh my gosh, I actually just saw the video of him responding to, the bank. Someone was asking the PM about this bank, and he's, shivering and, all fidgety.
You're talking about in Iceland.
Yeah, when they found out, when all those Panama Papers were getting released and whatnot, and he was going to get caught, and he had to answer the question about that bank. Oh, my
I remember that video, yeah, and he just shuffles in his chair. He's like,
He's freaking out. Oh, my God. It was great.
About that account,
Wouldn't you be, completely nervous if you had... I don't know if it's millions of people or thousands of people, but millions of dollars?
No, of course.
But at least stay calm, because now he has, no way of defending himself.
He was definitely caught off guard, but that was pretty funny if you saw his reaction. It was like a kid got caught stealing cookie out of cookie jar. You know he was guilty or of something. You could just tell.
Even if he was innocent, he still came across as guilty.
I shouldn't say he's guilty. I could be liable for that. What I'm going to say is it looked pretty sketch.
If you were watching the footage, it looked sketch.
It looks pretty sketch.
All right, so what else is going on, guys?
Well, last night, oh my God, I was woken up in the middle of the night because a trailer came out.
Hold on. Stop the presses. Everybody, hold on a sec. Sasson was woken up in the middle of the night.
Exactly, and this trailer was no trailer that, oh my God. Everyone's been waiting for this trailer. It's Doctor Strange.
I thought you meant trailer as in truck trailer.
Oh, wait, no.
Wait, why would you think that?
Because truck trailers can be noisy, and that could wake anybody up in the middle of the night.
Oh my gosh. No, but did you guys see the trailer?
I have, yeah.
And
it looks so good. I'm actually very excited for this movie. I think it's going to be phenomenal.
I'm so happy they casted Cumberbatch for this.
I'm a huge Benedict Cumberbatch fan. I'm also, I wouldn't say huge Doctor Strange fan, but I'm big enough of a Strange fan that I refuse to watch any of the footage from the trailers or anything.
Oh, you're just going to watch it because of what happened with Deadpool, right?
Yeah, I was really disappointed with Deadpool that all that footage was in the movie, and I was like, what a waste of time and my money.
Basically watched the movie right before the movie started.
And that's a problem that most movies have nowadays. They give away too much. Except for Zootopia. Zootopia did a great job.
Yeah, they hit everything pretty well, except for the Beyonce...
Which part are you talking about?
The music video at the end.
No, that was Shakira.
Shakira, sorry.
Wow.
Oh my God, I knew it was wrong.
Well, they were in a music video together, so you got to pass on that one.
Yeah, okay, but when they released the Shakira music video afterwards, you saw clips that spoiled the movie a bit.
Okay, yeah, I give you that one.
But the trailers before were okay. There were just tiny scenes like the sloths and whatnot.
Talking about big movies this weekend, my childhood, Jungle Book.
Oh my gosh.
I just watched the Honest trailer for that today.
No, don't ruin it for me, please.
No, for the animated one from 1967. It was hilarious. Talking about a movie with no plot, absolutely no idea what's happening, and in real life, this kid would have died in all of 5 seconds, and that's it. Roll the credits. They're done.
No, don't ruin this for me. I really liked The Jungle Book growing up.
I did too, but after seeing these honest trailers, honestly, they're just you can't not see these movies the same anymore.
That's why I don't. Actually, no, I won't lie. I watch the movies and then I'll watch the honest trailers.
Yeah, of course. That's what I did too.
No, that's impossible. Oh, wait, you saw the cartoon movie. Never mind. Oh, you know what I was really saddened by? I went to the Disney store yesterday to try and find Jungle Book merchandise.
Yeah.
Apparently, they don't get, like, merchandise for live actions.
Oh, what?
Now, here's the kicker.
Star Wars is live action.
Yeah, except for Star Wars and Marvel.
Oh.
Any actual Disney film that is produced and is live action,
Yeah.
no merchandise.
So like the Big Friendly Giant that's coming out in a couple months, that's not gonna have any merchandise?
Is that a live action?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then no. Then apparently not.
Well, that sucks.
I'm very upset. about that.
So, NBA. Anyone following basketball?
Yeah. Sassan's like, this is the part of the conversation that I phase out at.
Sorry, Sass. I hate to do this to you. Actually, Sass, I do have a question for you after this. Okay, so if anyone's paying attention, tonight is a pretty big night. It's the night that both the Golden State Warriors can set the record for most wins in a season and Kobe Bryant's last game.
Okay, hold on. Before we get to that, because that's a whole other topic of conversation, you got to pay tribute to the home team, buddy. You got to talk about T.O. So first of all, the fact that we finished second in the Eastern Conference. The matchup that we're going to be facing as of this weekend is the Indiana Pacers, which I'm a little bit upset about because I'd rather have to take on Detroit. During the regular season, we fell, I believe it was 2-1 to the Indiana Pacers. Sassan, you can fact check me on that one at the end of the show. But yeah, Indiana, they have Paul George healthy now. This is his first postseason back, so it's going to be really tough. And
he's had a great season, too.
Sadly, I will go on record and say now, I would not be surprised if Indiana ends up taking this one in Game 7. It'll make me, I'll be absolutely crushed, but I still would not be super surprised given that this is the first postseason Paul George is back.
So you're going to say the Raptors lose again in the first round for the third time?
I don't want to say it, though. I can't bring myself to say it. I'm just going to say that I wouldn't be surprised if it happened.
Fair enough.
Now you can talk about curry powder. I mean, curry power.
Curry powder.
Curry powder, yeah.
Great.
Curry powder.
Great introduction there. 73 wins, 9 losses is a potential tonight. 10:30 Eastern, and at the same time, Lakers versus the Jazz. Kobe Bryant's last game ever. If you had one choice, like one game to watch tonight, which one would you watch?
Well, Sassan, I don't know how you're going to answer that, but for me, I'm not trying to say I'm old, but I'm old enough to have had the opportunity to see Kobe Bryant play in his prime. And I can honestly say at this point that, I've seen Kobe play. I've seen him play in his prime. I've seen him play when he was unstoppable. That's how I want to remember him. I don't want to remember him as, where he is now.
Well, being from the Toronto area, I mean, you're only going to remember him as the guy who dropped 81 points on your team, walked away, and that's about it. What else matters after that?
Big shot, 81. But yeah, no.
81 points.
I'm gonna go with curry powder.
Why?
Why curry powder? Because this is like a huge thing. They're either gonna finish better than the Bulls or they're gonna tie the Bulls. Either way, these two teams are they're solidified as being two teams that will forever be compared to each other.
I think that's fair. I would agree with you on that point. Mm-hmm. Just solely on that point. Sass, what would you watch? A historic record-setting win, or one of the greatest to just finally play his last game?
I don't know why you're asking me. I just watch neither.
So this is the funny thing about Sassan.
At least he's honest, though. I appreciate that.
He's an honest man who knows nothing about sports, and it's funny because was it 2 seasons ago, Sassan, that you started asking me about baseball, and I asked you why, and you were like, "'Cause of Kawasaki."
Oh my god, he was blowing up on the internet. How could you not love Kawasaki? There's gifs of him on the internet just doing handstands on the field or tackling people who just finish home runs. It was the greatest.
Okay, so then I ask you this, Sassan. Yeah. Where's Kawasaki playing now?
No idea.
Oh, you're sad sometimes.
I didn't even get to see a game of him.
Really?
Yeah, they were all sold out. Yeah.
I think I've now posted every Kawasaki interview on your Facebook wall.
You have, and it's the greatest.
I love a baseball. Yeah, go Blue Jays.
Oh my gosh.
post-game interviews were actually so much fun.
So I believe, for the man who knows nothing about sports, I will ask this then. What was your favorite Kawasaki interview?
I don't know. How am I supposed to know
Not
that?
you.
I'm just kidding.
I know.
Oh my god, I forgot why. I don't remember what the question was, but he starts singing the ABCs.
And I don't think it was like proper ABC.
Oh wait, no, I remember. He was asking whether he's been on the CBC, and he's like, CBC? Oh, you mean ABCD? And
No, I think it was I'm with CBC. You are ABC? No, I'm from the CBC. Oh, I love ABC. ABCD. No, he was a great man, and it's funny because he actually got picked up by and you can fact check me again, Sassan. He got picked up by the Chicago Cubs.
oh man.
Then he got cut by the Chicago Cubs. Then one of their players got injured, so they signed him to like a 1-day or 2-day contract, and he hit a home run in that game. And then they decided to renew his contract, so now he's with the Cubs again.
Oh,
Well, that's good for him. Now he has a job.
but he's too far away from me now. Now I can't see him.
He's only like a 12-hour drive.
Now we have an excuse to go to Chicago.
I guess so. Oh my gosh. But have you guys been keeping up with tech?
No, I only keep up with the Kardashians.
Okay, well, I remember when like 2 weeks ago I was talking about how HTC was releasing a new phone?
Yeah.
Yes.
They finally released the HTC 10. And I don't know if I like it, but I like what they're doing with the apps, because you know how Samsung, they have this thing called TouchWiz, and they just duplicate every single Google app. So you'd have the Google apps, and you'd have the Samsung apps, and you wouldn't know which one to use.
Let's pretend that I knew that.
Okay. Well, HTC is finally stopping that, so whatever Google already has, they're not remaking, but they're remaking the apps that they don't have. So it's a better process than just having all this bloatware on your phone.
Then did you follow what he just said?
No, to be honest, all I know is Sassan got a new phone. It's a first world problem, and he doesn't like it.
What are you talking about? It's the 6P. I don't have an HTC.
Now here's my important
Again,
question.
you have a smartphone, you don't like it. That's all I know, man.
How does it compare to my favorite phone?
It's a lot better, I'm sorry.
Man, how you gonna play me like that?
But specs aren't out yet, and people are still reviewing it, so we have to wait till the end of the month.
That's cool.
Oh, speaking of Marvel, since we kind of skipped over Doctor Strange, Spider-Man has released the name of the upcoming movie, and it's going to be called Spider-Man Homecoming.
Spider-Man
That's appropriate.
Homecoming.
That's pretty appropriate considering he's finally coming back to Marvel as a film property.
Are they gonna play that cheesy Diddy song with Skylar? I'm coming home. I guarantee you guys watch. You're gonna watch those commercials. If they play that song again, I'm going to. Well, there's really not much I could do, but I'm gonna be upset because I'm tired and sick of that stupid song.
Why? It's a good song, man.
Listen, all right,
He's
somebody.
coming home. Somebody has to know. Tell everybody, all of the 4 people who care about Puff Daddy, that he's coming home.
All I know is they used that song in the Blue Jays 2012 promos, and now they're using it again in this year's promos. And I was like, really, guys? You guys gonna do that to me? How you gonna do me like that?
How indeed, Kareem. How indeed.
How indeed? That is the question. But no, Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange will be dope, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
It's
I think
going to be
there's a lot to
great.
look forward to in the coming year, for sure.
Yeah, but the Spider-Man movie's in July of next year, so we have a long time to wait.
That's true. So who's coming up? What's coming up after the break, guys?
We got Arys. He's a local rapper and poet, and there's a lot more to him than just about that. So we'll definitely talk to him when we come back. Kareem, you got anything?
Nah, tune in after the break, guys.
Urban Definition on CHHA 1610.
Welcome back, guys. So for those of you now tuning in, we have a very special guest with us. We're not going to bring him on just yet, but before we get to... I know Zayn's looking at me like, what's wrong with you, boy? What's happening here? But yes, Zayn, can you please intro our guest for today? All right, fine, I'll do it. Zayn's looking at me like, what's going on? So, Arys is, well, Arys and I essentially grew up together. He's a very close friend of mine, and he is a spoken word artist within Toronto. He is not just that, he's also a motivational speaker. He's a community activist, and he is, honestly, for lack of a better word, he's an amazing, amazing man. Arys, welcome to the show. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Arys is such a humble guy. He's always just like chill, like
Even the way
yo.
he says it, just thank you so much for having me.
So debonair.
I appreciate
Eh?
that. Can I just ask a quick question? Who had the beef with the Diddy song?
That's
I did.
me.
You? What's wrong
Actually,
with
no,
the song?
he did.
I always got beef with. Listen, all
That's
right.
a great-
I don't know who likes him, but he hated the song.
You know,
Hate is a very powerful word. It's
Fine,
not
he really
hate.
dislikes the song.
it's a great
so
song,
much.
great concept. You know who wrote that song?
Who?
Jay-Z.
Really?
Yeah, so that's why it's kind of big. It has some substance to it. Diddy is Diddy, right? But
Diddy is Diddy, but
if Jay-Z's behind
Hova is a little bit different. I still got his autobiography. I read that like at least once a year.
Okay.
But
Thank you for
No.
having me, though. For real.
nah,
Oh,
it's
of
an honor
course,
to have
man.
you
We're
on.
happy to have you.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
I feel like I need to defend myself though. When you change your name that many times, I mean, you're not an artist formerly known as Prince. You're not Prince. You're not a symbol. You can't go you can't go Puff Daddy, Puff. What was it?
It was Puff Daddy, P Diddy, and now he's back to Puff.
Oh my goodness!
I think with a bank account that big, though, you could do whatever you want, right?
you got me there. There's not.
I would
can't-
agree with
I
that.
can't go nowhere from there.
Right.
If you have nearly $1 billion, you change your name to whatever you want to be called.
Yep, that is absolutely true.
Exactly.
Ah man.
Call me more money if that's what you want.
Exactly. No, but for real, I appreciate you guys having me on. I'm glad to be here. I got the crew in the room, so.
Yeah, who's with us today?
We got Mom, of course. Let's say happy birthday to Mom,
Happy birthday, Mom.
for sure. This is her birthday present. Watching her son on the mic. and
That is
chilling with you guys.
huge.
Chilling with one of my ex-class or.
Yeah, we were in
schoolmates-
classes together.
schoolmates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very sweet.
And I got my supporters on the back, my sister and a couple of my close friends, people I work with, and yeah, just the crew, the man behind the camera. That's Downtown. We call him Downtown.
Does he live downtown?
No,
You would ask. This guy would ask a question like that.
we'll talk about that off air. But yeah, he's our guy for the day.
That's awesome. But while you and I went to high school together, there was that whole distant break, and during that break,
Yeah.
you have gone on to live what can only be described as a pretty awesome life. You've been very successful. I mean, because I moved away for a little while, but
Right.
when you and I sort of, I guess, stopped talking,
Right.
you were essentially starting. I mean, you had already been into spoken word. You had been rhyming from time,
Exactly.
but you were starting to step into what I guess could a dual, a partnership, if you will. So my first question to you is,
Well, hold on. I wanted to pause you because for those who don't know, the last time I think we saw each other was at your birthday party.
oh my
you remember
goodness,
that?
that was a long time ago.
We go back.
That was, I think that would have been 16th birthday party.
Yeah.
And the theme of that birthday party was,
fun.
it was
Fun
fun.
times 10.
Fun times. But no, there was like the amazing race.
Right.
Like my family was weird in that every year, instead of having like normal, just chill birthday parties, they had like a theme.
No, we got a story, you and I. So.
Yeah.
What was his theme? I really want to know.
The Amazing Race. So what they did is they partnered everybody with one. So basically, you, another kid, and an adult, and they sent everybody out throughout the city, and you have to like find clues and go to a pizza
Like a
store.
scavenger hunt,
A scavenger
Oh, that
hunt.
sounds really fun, though.
I won't lie, it was fun.
It was.
It
Do
was.
you really want your ordinary, normal birthday party that's so boring and
Yeah.
everyone just comes and happy birthday and then that's it. Then they leave. No,
Nah, that's one
go on
thing.
an adventure. That's pretty fun.
My parents were, I won't even lie, my parents are pretty dope. Like the one year, 13th, I had like it was a bowling alley birthday, but rather than just a bowling alley, they turned it into a Fear Factor birthday. And they had kids eating raw eggs and
I
sardines.
can
And
see that happening
yo, you
at your household. I could see it.
Well, that was Kareem. This is now Kareem's second time inviting me somewhere. First being his birthday and second being in this room with you gentlemen. So I think it's only right that I return the favor and invite you guys somewhere. And we'll talk about that a bit later, of course.
absolutely.
I have a question though. How long have you been doing spoken word and poetry and all that? Because that's pretty interesting. And that is why you're here.
For sure. Not to talk about Marvel Comics at all, which I'd love to do, and all the songs that Jay-Z wrote. But I picked up the pen. It was about age 13 when I started to, I guess, just like express myself through writing, and just I had like this. I I had this thing for like going to the dollar store and picking up notepads and just filling them up with not only words but also drawings and just expressing myself through that outlet. And once I started learning how to songwrite even without beats, I had some friends in the neighborhood that I would actually pretend that they rapped even though they didn't. And what I would do is write verses. It's like I'm creating a song with other features who were my friends at the time, but they had no idea. They didn't even rap. But I would create like rap names for them. And it's like I'm creating a song with no beats, no actual features, just giving other people's verses. I was a ghost writer for no ghosts, pretty much.
And that's funny. I'm only saying this because we were talking about Jay-Z earlier.
Right.
Arys is saying he's not a businessman. He's a businessman.
And he's a ghostwriter.
That's pretty dope. That is
not Ghost Rider from Marvel. Ghost Writer, like as in writing, not Ghost Rider, the Marvel comic character.
He's on like a whole other level of deep right now.
Sorry, I'll stop.
He's on like a whole other planet.
I'm just excited to be here.
He's been doing this for how long now? 10 years, maybe more?
We could say that. I'm 26 now, so what's the math?
13 years?
Exactly.
I'm glad one of us got that.
I haven't been doing the same thing. I haven't been doing the same thing for 13 years, but just learning the craft and the background of. I know we refer to like, for an example, what you guys do. I don't know if you consider this a talent, but if you're really good at something and you were born to do it, I consider that a power, because you were born with that skill.
So you're saying that songwriting and poetry, that was your power? What
I do, these are powers. I was born with these things. It wasn't something I just woke up and said, oh, I'm going to do it. It was like I was born to do it. So I'm doing it.
But one thing about, I guess, the whole concept of being an artist is there's always that backstory, especially with spoken word artists. Yeah. There's always that backstory of what was your source of motivation. 13 is a really young age to start in such a powerful art form.
Right.
So what was your, if not your primary source of motivation, what was your motivation?
These guys. A bunch of things. I think not even being able to... I was finding myself growing up. And you and I have had conversations even back in the day where like I shared pieces of my life story, and like one of the pieces of my life story, and one of those pieces are like come from like being in foster care or not knowing who my father is. Just pieces of that of my life story with that. It just there were inner feelings that I had and inner thoughts that I felt like I couldn't express verbally. So I took it to the pen and the pad.
Not having a father at a young age, and I'm not trying to dig too deep here, but I'm still. It's one of those questions that I don't know. I feel like I would really like to ask is: there's a lot of people or youth out there who experience that, you know, from a young age, not having a father and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How did you approach the topic or the idea of, I want to reach out and share my feelings so that other people can also identify with that? Or did you just take a completely different other approach?
I feel like us as people, like we all have a like we can decide which route we want to take. I feel like routes are already laid out for us, but we're given the opportunity to make a decision on which route we want to take. So, I mean, being through things that I've been through, I could allow that to stop me from being, let's say, successful or just being who I am, or I can use that as a weapon and sort of as inspiration and to promote it to other people. Like, everybody has a story, right? And you never know if your story can help someone else. So why keep it to yourself your whole life? Who knows how long we're here for? So if I share pieces of my story and pieces of my success, and not to say I'm fully successful, but I face some barriers and come out of those situations where, you know, other people may look at them and say, hey, you know, this guy went through something. He should be somewhere else, not where he is right now.
So you picked up the pen and you started to express yourself. Was there anything else that you feel you've avoided doing that like might not have set you on this path? I mean, there are things, but is there anything that you did do to try to find an escape, kind of? And I'm saying like a little bit more of the negative influences that quote unquote negative influences?
Like drugs?
Yeah, because I find that a lot of people do turn to those things.
I've never, believe it or not, I've never tried weed. I've never tried a cigarette. I've never tried a drug. You can name it. I've never tried it. I've never indulged in anything like of that type of substance or anything like that. It was really just the urge to express myself is where it all came from.
And this is why it's so important for somebody like Arys, for example, to be on a show like Urban Definition, a show that is dedicated to showcasing positive role models and artists, like amazing artists throughout the city.
Definitely, and I think that's a good note that you're saying that, you know, especially with, and we're going to get into this because I know you wanted to talk about it, was the work that you're doing with the youth,
right?
About influencing them in a positive manner. So I think that's a very important note. I don't think a lot of people could say that either.
Say what?
That they haven't tried any of these things or gone through such a negative outlet.
I remember there was a time when you and I had that conversation too.
Yeah.
About what is out there, and yeah. But there's a lot, and there's a lot more to discuss with Arys. But we will get into that, and I will, as I said, continue to dig deeper when we come back after the break.
Urban Definition on CHHA 1610.
Welcome back to Urban Definition. We're here with Arys. We're here with Arys.
You could put the middle name in, DéJan, Arys DéJan, Arys, whichever one.
That's your stage name too, right?
Yeah, my first and my middle name I use that as my artist name as well for everything that I do.
So I've listened to a few of your songs. Well, actually, no, I listened to that whole list that was on your website.
Thanks.
And I got to say, it was really good. So congratulations on that. Like, you make good music.
I appreciate that.
And I know we were talking about some of the inspirations before the break. Actually, you know, Kareem had a question. He's been patiently waiting so long. His hand's been up like he's in school.
No. It's not even that. It's just
Here we go.
No, I'm not going to dig it. We're going to take a step because we will. Don't worry, we will come back to the musical world for a second.
Yeah.
But I do want to step away from the music for a second because you are more than just music.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
I appreciate that.
I meant that in the sense of the motivational in your community activism.
Right.
And one of the biggest things that, well, I don't know if it's one of the biggest or you would define it as biggest, but from the outside looking in, something huge that you do is your 3-on-3 basketball tournament, which is I believe, Love and Basketball. Love and Basketball
is the name of the event. Yeah, where backtracking just a bit, I work at a non-for-profit, Love, Leave Out Violence, and I work with youth, just promoting change and violence prevention within a certain all communities really, and just touching on social issues with the youth of today, and teaching them media arts, and just challenging youth to think critically about where they come from and the communities that they're actually a part of. And that 3-on-3 tournament is happening in June, which I could give you the actual date is on...
As he pulls out papers.
June 25th, 2016. And that'll be at Hoop Dome, which is at 75 Carl Hall Road. I'm sure you guys know where Hoop Dome is, right?
That's Downsview Park, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And that'll be a 3-on-3 tournament. We're still open for team registrations, and you guys can register at www.loveandbasketball.ca. And we have a bunch of divisions, and we're looking for not only youth to participate, but adults as well.
You spoke about like exposing youth to media arts and stuff like that. Yeah. So how did you get in? Why basketball?
Well, basketball is just... That's just a fundraiser that the organization puts together. We're in our third one this year, right?
Right.
But that's just one piece of like what the organization does and what we do. Yeah.
The kids who come through Love, can you tell us? I don't know if you're allowed to, but if you can, what kind of backgrounds do they come from in terms of like challenges that they're facing or anything like that? Really.
I think it's this with I think when people hear violence in the title, they get a bit, there's sort of like an alert that goes up because you assume that everybody involved has been involved in some sort of violence. Violence is very broad, right?
Yeah.
But I think for everybody, not just youth, you're either like you've been a witness to violence or a victim yourself, right? And we have these discussions about violence, but on a broader scale, because there's so many things under that umbrella, other subjects.
Okay.
And the big thing is that, I mean, Arys can correct
I'm
me.
also a kid from sorry.
No, it's all good.
I also entered Love as a youth in programs.
Oh, so you started in the program.
Exactly.
So
They actually came to West Toronto, Kareem.
Really?
That's how I got involved. They did an outreach at our high school, and it was something that I felt like I wanted to get involved with being in foster care and going facing the barriers that I faced. I wanted to be a part of some sort of change.
And it's funny, though, because you and I went to, when I tell people the high school that we went to, West Toronto, a lot of people identify that school as either a problematic school or, I guess, just a terrible school. I mean, now it's been shut down.
Right, it's a French school now, right?
But something that you and I have discussed in the past is you are a firm believer in the social media movement and the fact that, because a lot of the issues and a lot of the things that are being brought to the front, basically to view, that people are now seeing and people are identifying, are things that, you and I still had to go through when we were in high school. These are the issues that kids are facing are not...
Just that people are seeing it more.
Exactly.
Because of the social media, right?
Exactly.
And that's some of the stuff that we speak about with our youth and the love programs is like anyone can use social media, but it's how you use it that makes a difference, right?
Do you see an improvement with social media use responsibility on their part? Like, I don't know. I don't think you guys would be like monitoring Twitter feeds or anything like that. But in terms of how they express themselves on words, because you use the pen and paper, they can use a keyboard.
Right.
So do you, and you said you emphasize it, so do you see them making conscious, responsible choices now with their words and their outlets?
Definitely. And I also think it's important to bring the awareness. A lot of the youth of today, they don't even know how to have a conversation about how to use social media or what even the right way versus the wrong way to use it is or means, right? So even just bringing that awareness, whether someone does it or not, it's up to them. But obviously, as we know, social media is used as an outlet to share personal thoughts and feelings about everything. And
do you think that's something that needs to be integrated into the educational system?
100%.
Why?
Because it's just a part of life. It's become a part of life. This is how we live now.
In terms of role models, because the kids could look up to you as a role model now, right? You're giving back. And your social media use, do they see how you're using it to either promote your brand or your music or even just your own general life story? And do they look up to that, and do you use it as an example to teach them?
100%, yeah. That's an ongoing discussion. And especially for the young artists out there, we always have many discussions about like how you could benefit from using social media, especially if you're an artist nowadays. It's easier to get out there. People are being discovered off of Instagram on a daily basis, and you may think they're nobody, but they become a somebody tomorrow just by the content. Whether that content's bad or good, that's up to you to decide.
Moving away from the exposure aspect of musical exposure, which we'll still talk about, but just for this little part, moving away from that in terms of importance of social media in not necessarily broadcasting, but showcasing and exposing and educating people on the issues that we face. Looking at something like, for example, this whole Black Lives Matter Toronto coalition and what's been going on like that. Mm-hmm. From your perspective, how has social media played a role in the way that people perceive what's going on? Is it positive or is it negative? Are these kids is Black Lives Matter being portrayed positive, negative? Well, we'll start with that question first.
So you want to just focus on Black Lives Matter as a whole, or just Black Lives Matter Toronto, or
Black Lives Matter Toronto is the issue at hand in terms of that's the current thing.
With the latest story.
But it's what's going on with them sort of embodies what's going on in the broad everywhere. Yeah. And I'm just using them as the example because that's what a lot of listeners will identify with.
I read the article. If I correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure we're referring to the
Yusra Kogali?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but the latest situation.
Mhm.
Man, I feel like I don't know, man. I read the article.
Interesting.
They're very interesting. What I want to know what you thought about the article and let's say the tweet for an example. There was a specific tweet. This started from a tweet.
Yeah, it did.
So what is your thought
It picked up
from
momentum.
the tweet and what has occurred based on just a tweet?
Well, my whole thing.
And mind you, this is someone who is someone from Black Lives Matter Toronto,
Exactly.
tweeting something like that.
Exactly. My whole thing is that I touched on this even before that tweet came out. Was that these, not just the organization, but the group on the whole, and like we knew, like I know a lot of those guys from time, and
Right.
a lot of them are active members within the spoken word community.
Right.
And something that, and because I guess I spent 4 years studying media, essentially,
Right.
I don't want to say I knew this was coming, but I do want to say that the media history does have a poor, history of, when things like this happen, there's always something that comes up that, portrays the negative light.
But let's talk about the tweet.
Okay.
Let's pick that apart. I don't know what.
Do I think it was a mistake? Absolutely.
Okay.
Do I think that she has to be held accountable? Absolutely. Do I think that her response to what happened was the best she could have possibly come up with? Absolutely not. Do I think that her response was taking responsibility for her actions? Unfortunately, I myself don't necessarily see it that way.
Yeah.
Could it have been dealt with in a better way? Absolutely. Do I think that the organization should have supported her? That's a touchy subject. Do I think Kathleen Wynn's response to everything was appropriate? Absolutely.
I love how you're answering your own questions here.
I know. Well, it's not even that. It's just that remember, I'm following all of this.
You're
super
very
close.
into this, yeah.
He is. It's a deeper conversation that we would need more than an hour for.
Absolutely.
For sure. But we all have an opinion.
My whole thing about this is that these, for lack of, I'm going to call them kids, unfortunately. These kids are being used as the poster children for the entire movement. And they're not just representing Black Lives Matter Toronto. They're representing all ethnic lives. Is that fair to them? Absolutely not. Does that put them under an even bigger microscope? Absolutely. And it's starting to become really political, which I don't think they originally anticipated this would happen.
Right.
It started as a social movement. It was fantastic. So, and because of the media and the way that media portrays everything, these kids are not getting the right message is not getting out there.
Exactly.
Hey, he asked me for my opinion, and you guys are looking at me like,
I gotta tell you, it's bad question. Bad question.
It's
a good question.
but just not to Kareem.
Not to Kareem.
I think again, like this is, I want to go deep into it. I know I'm looking at the time and I'm like, we got some other stuff to talk about. But Kareem, you and I should definitely touch base like off air and talk more about this.
Absolutely.
I think it's definitely a good example to show people after the fact that this is, again, everything you say can be held against you. You have to be accountable for it.
That's why I'm choosing not to say anything.
That's good. It's the best answer you could possibly have.
I got you.
Moving back to Arys and what he's about.
Yes, let's do that.
Arys, where can we find you? What's happening with you now?
Right now, I am working with a producer from the Netherlands. His name is Roca Beats, and him and I have connected over SoundCloud and online, and we've been building the sound. And I'm releasing music monthly and just promoting my upcoming event. It's actually my birthday event. My birthday is April 26th. I'm a Taurus. But we're doing the big event on the 29th, which is the Friday, and we're inviting you guys and all the listeners out. It'll be on Friday, April 29th at 996 Queen Street East at Whaler Bar. So if you didn't get the address, just look up Whaler Bar. That's Wayla, and which stands for What Are You Looking At? And
Everything's an acronym with this guy.
Yeah.
LOVE, Whaler Bar.
No, not Arys. But I should come up with an acronym for that. But yeah, we're just inviting everybody out. I'm going to be performing. It's my birthday bash, and we're just going to have a great time and just party. And it's music, man. It's art and music. Let's do it.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to being there. I know Kareem's going to go, and Sash is going to join us too, right?
I guess so.
Doors open at 9 p.m., ladies and gentlemen, so be there.
Sassan's that weird soul that just shows up everywhere.
Mostly because you ask him to, though.
I didn't know he
Sass,
was.
I need a picture of this. Sass, take a video.
I texted him like 2 days ago.
Sass is a good guy.
He is a good guy.
Sass is a great guy.
I texted him 2 days ago, and he goes, "Oh, I'm in Montreal." What? He didn't give us no heads up, no nothing. I'm in Montreal now, guys. What are you doing in Montreal? What were you doing in Montreal?
I went to see a play and practice French.
Who goes to Montreal for a couple days? I'm just going to pick up and go to Montreal for a couple days to go see a play and practice my French. Must be nice to be in your life.
I had to. It's
You guys
great.
are funny. So, and just going back, and for all of our listeners, and if there are some parents listening, look us up online, leaveoutviolence.org, and we're gonna have open spots for your little ones, your youth. We cover ages from 13 and 19. So if your youth are interested in the media arts and making a change within the communities and the schools that they come from, look us up for our fall registration. We do our best to follow the school year, so programs tend to start in September, October. And they can register. Like, Love mentors youth to be powerful and constructive with their challenges. So get your youth and children and whoever involved, and let's make a difference.
This is Urban Definition.
Welcome back, guys. So for all of our listeners, we've covered a extremely wide range of topics this show, ranging from things like, what have we covered so far? We've covered the artistic form. We've covered the importance and effect of social media. And we've covered, essentially, how awesome Arys is. But before...
I'm all right.
Here, he's like, see how humble this guy is?
So humble.
I know, right?
Just so humble.
I did have another
guys
question
can-
for you, though.
Yes,
And
sir.
kind of coming back to the musical side of things.
Yes, sir.
How has, I guess, this art helped to shape who you've become now?
Good question.
So how has this art form helped to shape who I am today?
Yeah, because you've touched on the fact that, you grew up without a father, the adversities that you've had to overcome. Let's be honest, our high school was not the greatest.
Right.
It doesn't have a great representation for
Right.
success or track record.
Right.
So how is this music? Because you've stuck it out from 13 to now.
Right. Well, yeah, it's exactly like I'm still going through it. I'm still living without a father. I'm still going through facing barriers, which we all are, and that's something that we all forget, right? Like, even when working with youth, it's like, we're in this space, in this safe space that we do our best to create, and just because they're youth, that doesn't mean I'm not learning from them. Just because I could be a facilitator or a coordinator doesn't mean I'm not a student still. I feel like with music, I've learned, it's like being your own student in a sense. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but just like I've learned about myself every time that I've written. I've learned more about myself and who I've been, who I am now, and who I want to be. And that's an ongoing process in my life. So I figure more and more about myself as I write, as I create, as I work with the youth. They're not two separate worlds. It's all one world. Working with youth, working within my community, creating music and art. It's all Arys. It's Arys DéJan. It's not like it's something I do and I wake up and it's a 9 to 5. This is who I am. That's why I do what I'm doing.
And is that what you tell, for example, when you speak to youth?
Yeah.
Is that your message? Is that what you tell them?
100.
Yeah.
100.
For all the people who have had a negative impact on your life, because this is, as you said, you're growing every day and
Right.
you're learning. To the people
Oh,
who
we
have,
exiled them.
Zayn's really on that whole negative trait
Well,
today.
no.
He is, eh?
Yo!
Where are we going with
well,
this?
I want to know.
How about
I
them
wanna know
drugs?
where the I want to know where it comes from and like what helps push him, because he's taken a lot of stuff in his life and he's turned it into something positive, right? But
it's-
if there's a
yeah.
message for these people,
Yeah.
for your father, who you don't know who he is, for the people who you said exile out of your life, like,
Right.
what would
That
you
was a
say to
joke.
them?
This guy exiled.
What would I say to them? Listen to the music.
Amen. That's true.
And if you know who I'm talking about when you listen, right? So, well, they'll know. But it's not even... It's just self-reflection, man. Like, just because, people come and go. And that's okay. That's okay to accept. You have your own story to fulfill. The book is already written. I just got to get to that chapter. And some people just don't follow you within to the next chapter. But that doesn't mean I can't write about it. It's my story.
100%.
See, I had a good question.
Ask it.
This guy. So you've kind of treated us to something very phenomenal.
Very.
You've brought a very special gift for us this evening.
Yes.
Care to tell us what it is?
It's a collaboration.
Okay.
From Toronto to South Carolina and to the Netherlands and back. My producer, Roka Beats, he's from the Netherlands, and the female on the song, the woman, young lady.
In all three contexts.
Yeah. Emily Deal. She's my new partner in crime, and we're creating some dope music together, and she's not even in the same city that I live in, and this is the world that we live in now. But we're connecting, and we're creating. So I got a new song with her, and produced by Roka Beats. It's called Lay Back. It's something for the ladies, but when you guys come out to the show, I'll give you guys the hard stuff.
So let us
lay back.
Let us lay back, if you will.
Corny.
This guy. Without further ado, DJ, play that track. I always wanted to say that.
You are the DJ.
Here we go, guys.
Thinking about you on my night off. I could picture you and me just lay back with the light off. Never change the scripture. Your love my prescription. Your mind and body my mission. You open, I slide in, we dip it. You the Scotty to my Pippin, baby. Got time invested, like money we spend it. I thank the gods for that body you blessed with. Take a minute, sit back and let me work. I forget your past, we passed all of the hurt. I can forever make you laugh still. You plus me, we be working out our math skills. Since day one, you been mad real like. Now I know what my other half feels like.
Hey, are you used to feeling this way?
I'ma stay
Close together, breathing, kicking with you, wasting time. Effortless the way we vibe. We lay back, la 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 la. We lay back, la 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 la.
Laid back on my heart. Hear it played back and restart. We got a vibe. We play it loud, and the neighbors, they saying turn it down. We take sound to a new level. I give you bass, you don't do treble. And when our sound system go boom, it's your world up in my room. Now press play.
Babe, are you used to feeling this way?
I'ma stay
Close together, breathing, kicking with you, wasting time. Effortless the way we vibe. We lay back, la 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 la. We lay back, la 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 la. We lay back.
Arys DéJan. Yo, M. It's just the beginning, baby. Yeah. Roka Beats. Bridging gaps from Canada to Europe to the States and back. Yeah.
Arys, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on tonight. But for our listeners, how can they keep in touch? How can they keep all of this going?
Just follow me on my socials, Twitter, Instagram, and on SoundCloud is only one Arys. That's ONLY, the number one, ARYS as in Sam. My website is www.arysdejan.com. I just want to remember to invite everybody out on Friday, April 29th, 996 Queen Street East. That's at Whaler Bar. Doors open at 9 p.m. Let's party. And again, registration for our 3-on-3 Love and Basketball Tournament, June 25th, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Hoop Dome. Just look it up online. Registrations for teams are open right now. And again, look us up, leaveoutviolence.org, and get your youth involved.
Well, I said it right at the top there, but it really has been an absolute pleasure having you on. I hope that we get to have you again in the future.
100.
Because you are, like I said it at the top, man, you're a dope guy. And I've been following you throughout the journey, and you never cease to amaze me with the accomplishments that you've kind of, well, not just overcome, but where you are in your life right now.
I really appreciate that, Kareem. And you guys having me on, it's a dream come true.
Next time you want to premiere a song, please feel free to stop by. We'll definitely love to play it.
I got you.
And I'm a fan of your music as well, so I'm looking forward to more tracks from you as well.
And shout out to Roca Beats and Emily Deal for the collaboration. Look them up as well. And if just look at my Twitter feed, you'll find them.
And if you guys didn't catch anything he said, it'll all be posted on our Facebook, so just check out urbandefinition.ca after the show, and you'll find all the links there.
Have a fun, safe, and chill weekend, everybody. Whoop! One love, guys.
CHHA.
Urban Definition on CHHA 1610.